Welcome back to WION World is One. Thank you so much for staying with us. My name is Heen Korsar and here's a look at all the stories that we're tracking for you on Speed News today. Fire and plumes of smoke could be seen in the air over Hodeida city in Yemen after dozens of Israeli aircraft struck power plants and seaport facilities. Israeli strikes hit the Hodeida and Ras Isa ports along with two power plants in Hodeida city, a stronghold for the Houthi rebels. The attack on Houthi targets comes after Israel launched a ballistic missile attack on Israel's Ben Gurion airport as Prime Minister Netanyahu was arriving from the United States. Israeli Defense Minister Yoav Gallant has called the results of Israeli strikes on Houthi targets in Yemen very impressive. Gallant said that Israel has no interest in expanding the war, but those who try to attack Israel or harm the citizens of Israel will pay a very heavy price. An Israeli airstrike hit central Beirut early on Monday for the first time in nearly a year of conflict. The strike near the Kola intersection, that's a major transportation hub, hit a multi-story residential building. According to the Lebanese Health Ministry, 4 people were killed in the incident, including 3 leaders of Popular Front for the Liberation of Palestine. It said more than 100 people were killed and 350 others were wounded in Israeli airstrikes in the last 24 hours. US President Joe Biden warns all-out war has to be avoided in West Asia as Israel pounded targets in Lebanon and Gaza. Biden said he will be speaking to Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu in their first phone call since the assassination of Hezbollah leader Nasrallah. The White House has said that US President Joe Biden approved $567 million in defense support to Taiwan. The military aid to Taiwan is the latest move by the United States to boost Taiwan's military in the face of rising tensions with China. The White House said the assistance includes defense articles, services of the Department of Defense, and military education and training. Taiwan has been put on heightened alert and declared full combat readiness after detecting multiple waves of missile firings in inland China. The Defense Ministry said it detected the firing by China's rocket force and army in the provinces and regions of Inner Mongolia, Gansu, Qinghai and Xinjiang. This comes days after Taipei's allies sailed warships through the Taiwan Strait in the wake of Beijing test launching an intercontinental ballistic missile earlier this month. Chinese President Xi Jinping and senior leaders of the Communist Party attended a ceremony at the Tiananmen Square to present flower baskets and pay tribute to the country's fallen national heroes. The event comes a day before the People's Republic celebrates its 75th anniversary. Xi Jinping walked up to straighten the ribbons attached to the basket and led other leaders around the monument. In a bid to bolster Chinese people's patriotism, the Chinese government designated Martyrs' Day on the 30th of September to commemorate those who fought for national causes. China has opened its only Class A general airport, Dongfeng Shaolin Airport in Henan Province. Authorities say the airport will be mainly used for air tourism, business flights, flight training, aerial inspection, air shows, forest fire prevention, emergency rescue, pest control, and commercial display. Through a series of low-altitude projects, the airport is set to enhance the public's awareness and interest in general aviation. Marking a historic victory, Austria's far-right Freedom Party topped national elections on Sunday. In the Austrian national elections, the FPO won 28.8% of the votes, beating the ruling Conservative People's Party into second place at 26.3%. FPO party leader Herbert Kickl praised voters for their optimism, courage and trust in delivering a piece of history, stating that the win opened the door to a new era. The FPO finished ahead of the governing Conservatives after tapping into worries over immigration, inflation, Ukraine and other issues. New Zealand has reclaimed the world record for the largest mass haka after more than 6,000 people performed the legendary Maori war dance, dethroning France. The record was broken at Eden Park Rugby Stadium in Auckland, where thousands of men, women and children combined on the pitch to complete the traditional native challenge involving vigorous movements, stamping feet and rhythmic shouting. An adjudicator confirmed 6,531 participants had performed the rendition, made famous by the All Blacks rugby team, who performed it immediately before test matches. The world record had been held by France in September 2014 when more than 4,000 people slapped their thighs and bellowed the chant following a rugby match in southwestern France. A SpaceX Crew Dragon space capsule, which is due to bring home struck astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams next year, has arrived at the International Space Station. NASA said that astronaut Nick Hague and Roscosmos cosmonaut Alexander Gorbanov boarded the ISS shortly after the Dragon capsule docked at the station. The SpaceX Crew 9 mission was supposed to transport 4 astronauts to the ISS until 2 empty seats had to be opened up for Wilmore and Williams after the Boeing Starliner capsule they arrived on in June was deemed unfit to return them to Earth. Wilmore and Williams, who were the first crew to fly on the troubled Starliner, are now due to return home, with Hague and Gorbanov on Crew Dragon in February next year, as what was supposed to be an 8-day mission has turned into an 8-month ordeal. Residents of Mexico's Culiacan, capital of northwestern state of Sinaloa, marched for peace amid an open conflict between rival cartel factions. The surge in violence comes after the surprise arrest Sinaloa cartel co-founder Ismael Elias Almayo Zambada in late July in the United States. The arrest is believed to have unleashed an internal power struggle within the group, resulting in the deaths of dozens of people in the state since the 9th of September. At least 192 people have died in Nepal after days of unrelenting rain triggered heavy flooding and major landslides around the country, including the nation's capital, Kathmandu. Search and rescue efforts are ongoing nationwide. According to authorities, more than 3,600 people have been rescued so far, while over 100 are injured and dozens still missing. Government officials said that they expected the death toll to rise. North Carolina has been left in ruins as a huge cleanup and recovery effort began on Sunday after Hurricane Helene knocked out power for millions, destroyed roads and bridges, and caused dramatic flooding from Florida to Virginia. The storm's winds, rain and storm surge killed at least 90 people as water systems, communications and critical transportation routes were affected. According to reports, damaged estimates ranged from $15 billion to more than $100 billion. Severe flooding continues to disrupt life in Mexico's Acapulco after Tropical Storm John swept through the region, leaving widespread damage. Heavy rainfall triggered flash floods, submerging streets and homes while residents struggled to find food and drinking water. At least 22 people were reported dead. Hurricane John ravaged the Mexican Pacific coastline for a week, bringing deadly floods and landslides. In Guerrero, the worst-hit state and one of Mexico's poorest, 18 people were killed, according to local media, many due to mudslides and buried houses.
Here. Here.
Le pasábamos por arriba.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has vetoed an AI safety bill following concerns from the tech industry that it could push AI companies out of the state and stifle innovation. Newsom said that the bill didn't consider whether AI systems were used in high-risk areas or involved in critical decisions with sensitive data. He instead asked AI experts to help California create workable guardrails based on scientific analysis. State Senator Scott Wiener, who authored the bill, believes legislation is needed to protect the public as AI technology advances. OpenAI CEO Sam Altman is confident that AI won't be taking over writers' jobs anytime soon. In a recent interview, Altman mentioned that there's no solid proof that AI is killing writing. Altman believes that while AI chatbots are being used for writing tasks like books and assignments, human creativity still holds a clear edge. However, the OpenAI CEO added that AI would need to reach superintelligence that matches or surpasses human intelligence before it could truly replace human writers. US software firm Cloudflare has denied claims that it hosted two websites involved in a major data breach at one of India's top insurance firm, Star Health. The denial follows a lawsuit filed by Star Health that has accused Cloudflare of hosting these sites. Star Health has also sued Telegram and a hacker after personal data, including phone numbers, ID cards, and medical reports, were leaked via Telegram chatbots. Earlier, Star Health said an initial review showed no widespread compromise and that sensitive customer data remains protected. Indian officials have launched a forensic investigation into a fire that occurred at Tata Electronics factory that manufactures components for Apple iPhones. Tata Electronics stated that it is examining the cause of the fire and will implement measures to protect employees and other stakeholders. The fire broke out on Saturday in a section of the Hosur plant in the Indian state of Tamil Nadu. Officials have confirmed that the fire has been fully extinguished and there are no longer any fumes. China's factory activity shrank for a fifth straight month and the services sector slowed sharply in September, suggesting Beijing will need even more stimulus to hit its 2024 growth target, with only 3 months left in the year. Authorities last week launched their most aggressive stimulus package since the COVID-19 pandemic, which helped China's stocks post their best weekly performance in nearly 16 years. Share markets extended their rally on Monday. A surging yen steadied today as Japan's incoming Prime Minister signaled monetary policy should remain accommodative, while the dollar slipped on commodity currencies underpinned by investor expectations of a turnaround in China's economy. Elsewhere, the euro was stable at $1.11 and sterling traded with $1.33 with markets looking to US jobs data on Friday as the next major data point that could guide the pace of US interest rate cuts. European nation inflation data on Tuesday and Chinese data due later on Monday are also keenly awaited. A SpaceX Crew Dragon space capsule, which is due to bring home stuck astronauts Butch Wilmore and Sunita Williams next year, arrived at the International Space Station on Sunday. According to NASA and SpaceX, the SpaceX Crew 9 mission was supposed to transport 4 astronauts to the ISS until 2 empty seats had to be opened up for Wilmore and Williams after the Boeing Starliner capsule they arrived in on June was deemed unfit to return them to Earth. The former military test pilots have been stuck on the ISS since then. After the Starliner capsule suffered thruster failures and helium leaks, NASA decided it wasn't safe for the astronauts to return on Starliner, which was sent back to Earth empty earlier this month.
Docking for us is called at the time.
For latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.